me and you.
What is going on, guys? Figment Vids here, and I'm back with another video. And it has been a long time since I've posted on this channel, but I'm gonna start to get back into the groove of things, post more videos, and grow this channel as much as I can. And so today we're going to be doing the Walt Disney World attractions Tiermaker list. So it is all of the attractions and most of the shows from the 4 theme parks of Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida, being Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. So I'm going to be ranking them from S being the highest down through A, B, C, and D. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with your friends and family. And leave a comment telling me which rides I'm wrong about, because I guarantee I have a lot of unpopular opinions out there. So just leave a comment telling me what I was right and wrong about. And with that said, let's get right into the video. So Hall of Presidents, I'd have to say, is B tier. I'm a big history buff. I really enjoy, especially American history. So I say it's high B tier. You know, the animatronic show, it's unbelievable how they could build 45 presidents into animatronics. I find it amazing. The Liberty Bell, I'd have to go with C tier. That ride is definitely for an um, older demographic that I would say appreciates it more than younger people. I mean, it's relaxing, it's nice, but on my typical day, I wouldn't go on that. Dumbo, it's a great classic ride. In Fantasyland, it's an opening day attraction, and it's just a classic. I mean, can't put it much higher than B tier, but I can't put it lower than C. Enchanted Tales with Belle, I'd have to go with C. Again, it's not my demographic. I'd say it's for younger kids, and it's 20 minutes long, so it's a good experience for the little kids, but it's just not for me. Small World, that has to be A tier. It's a classic. Um, this goes all the way back to the Walt days. The song is absolutely amazing. I do not find it annoying. It's a peaceful, relaxing boat ride, and it's just a complete classic. Mad Tea Party, I'd go with B. It's just like an average. I wouldn't say carnival, but it's not really Disney's best. But it is a classic. And I mean, the thing about that ride is it's very interactive. Like if you want to go fast, you can go fast. I always go as fast as I can. Some people take it easy, but I mean, can't really go much higher than B. Philhar Magic, I would say B. I would say B tier. It's a great show. It's 4D, so you can smell everything. There's water that gets squirted at you. I mean, that's been there for a while. It's 3D. Um, you know, it's a great show, but can't really put it higher than B. Peter Pan's Flight, that has to be an A tier ride. That's also a lot of things in the Magic Kingdom are classics, but you get in the boat, the pirate ship, you fly over London, and you go to Neverland, and it's a very unique dark ride because you float, or not, well, yeah, you float with pixie dust over all the show scenes instead of just being on the ground, which I think is very unique. The carousel, it has to be C tier. I mean, it's just a carousel. I mean, there's only so much Disney can do to change a carousel. It's just a carousel. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, I would say A tier. It's a newer ride. It came out in, I believe, 2013, around that time. Uh, but it's a good roller coaster. It's nothing too crazy, but I do like the swinging carts. Um, I mean, there's a lot of animatronics. There's singing, and the end scene is really creepy. But the witch and the apple. I just think it's a good roller coaster with it's like a dark ride mixed with a roller coaster, which in my opinion that's A tier every time. Magic Carpets of Aladdin, C tier for sure. Why would you, there's no reason to go on Magic Carpets of Aladdin if you've already been on Dumbo. There's none. It's just a Dumbo knockoff with Aladdin, and it's just not a classic. There's no really appeal to it in my opinion. And plus it completely congests the traffic in Adventureland, so I really am not a big fan of that ride. Barnstormer, I'd have to go with, again, C tier. It's only like a minute long, and I've seen that wait time get up to 45 minutes, so It's a real kiddie roller coaster. Again, not my demographic, so I have to put it C. Winnie the Pooh, 100% A tier. That ride, I believe it was made in the early 2000s. It's a newer dark ride, but it has that charm to it. It has that feel. You get to see all your favorite Winnie the Pooh characters. The visuals are actually very good. There's singing. It's just an overall great dark ride. Little Mermaid, I will go with B tier. I can't put it in A. It's newer, but at the same time, it just lacks that charm that gives the other classic Fantasyland dark rides, that feel to it. The show scenes are good, but I feel like in some parts they're a little lazy. Um, I just think that B tier suits it best. Definitely not A tier. Astro Orbiter, I'd say B tier. Won't put it above the original, but you're Tomorrowland. You're in Tomorrowland and you're way up on top of a platform, so you can definitely see a lot more. And the views are great. You can see the castle. You can see all of Tomorrowland. But it can't go over the original. Space Ranger Spin, definitely. I would put it. Yeah, I'd put it mid A tier. Um, it's an interactive, and I love, love, love interactive rides. This one, you can get competitive. I know my family, whenever I'm there, we're always, fighting to see who can get the highest score. And it's just a good time. And I'm a big Toy Story fan, so that helps it too. But it's definitely A tier. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, 100% A tier. It is the funniest show in all of Disney World. There's no better show, in my opinion, than Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, especially if you get picked to be Mike Sully or that guy, which is still my favorite running joke of all time. But I could watch that show a million times and never get bored. They change the material according to who's in the audience, and it's different every time. I mean, I could never get enough of that. Space Mountain is going to be our first S tier for sure. Space Mountain, oh, what a classic. um, I mean, there's no better Tomorrowland ride than Space Mountain. I mean, and Tomorrowland is my favorite land, so it does give it some points. But just the music and the walk, just it's an experience in itself. If you have ever been, you understand what I'm saying. And then the ride itself, it's definitely shows its age. It's rough, but it's a good time. Has some really good hills. It's a quality roller coaster too. It's not just a show where they make it seem good. It's a really good coaster. It's in the dark. You can hear all the music and the noises, and I just think it's definitely an S tier. Speedway, I would say high B tier. I hesitate to put it in the A tier just because you go really, really, really slow. I think it's around 7 miles an hour. I mean, it's fun for little kids. I know I loved it, but when you're older, it kind of loses that appeal. Like you're just, it's just people run faster. So I have to put it in the B tier. People Mover is definitely an A tier ride. It is so relaxing. It's like 10 minutes long. You just go around Tomorrowland. You get to go inside of Space Mountain. You get to see inside of Space Ranger Spin. And you just get to cruise around. You get a great view of the castle. And with Tron construction, you can see a lot. So I definitely would put that in the A tier. Carousel of Progress, I would say it's B tier. Um, it's long. Some people think it might be a little boring, and sometimes it is. But there's no doubt that song, "There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow," is absolute classic. One of the best Disney songs ever made, and it's got great charm. It goes all the way back to Walt Disney. It has to be in the B tier. The Railroad, I would put that in the B tier. Again, it's a classic. It's an opening day. Everybody wants to ride it when you're there. You get to see the Native American village, and you just get to see inside of Space Mountain. You get to chill and go around the park. It's a great way if you need to walk a long distance, and it's right there. You can just hop on. It'll take you to your destination. It's a great thing. Now we get into the Epcot ride. So first off, we have Spaceship Earth. That is 100% an A tier ride. Some people think it's boring. I get it. It's slow, but it's 15 minutes long. You're in the air conditioning. You get to learn about the history of communications. And like I said, I love anything history related. so that really, gets to me. Plus, they have a lot of iconic scenes and iconic smells too, such as the Rome burning, the Egyptians, the cavemen. It's just a really great. Also, there's an interactive portion at the end that makes a video using your face, and it's just absolutely hilarious. Whenever I'm there, I laugh at it. That's definitely an A tier ride. Mission Space, I would say is a B tier. It's a really good thrill ride, but it gets me sick whenever I go on it. I still have to go on it at least once. I only go on it once a day because after that I'll get really sick. But it gives some thrill, but I wouldn't say it's at I wouldn't say it's Disney's peak when it comes to simulators. Test Track, I'm gonna have to put it in the B tier, or excuse me, A tier. If it was the original Test Track, S tier for sure. But I feel like when they remodeled Test Track, they took away a lot of the charm that it had, and I felt like it wasn't needed, the update. But I really like the original, but it's the fastest ride on Walt Disney World property, and I love thrill rides, so it has to be an A tier for me. The Seas with Nemo and Friends, I would say low B tier. Um, I feel like some parts of it are very low effort. Some of the scenes, a lot of it's just screens. There's not as many physical props, such as like Little Mermaid, where it's pretty much all physical props. But I feel like it was kind of thrown together, and it's a little lazy in its making. So I'd have to go with B tier for that. Turtle Talk with Crush, I'll put that C tier. It's really fun. It's an interactive thing where Crush the Turtle talks with kids. He does some games, but it's nothing good enough to get into the B tier. Soren, I'll put in the A tier. If it was the original Soren, like I said, Soren over California, absolutely 100% S tier. But they changed the music, they changed some of the scenery, and it just doesn't do it. I feel like it doesn't do it as well as the old one does. Um, it's a great ride though. Nothing. I still go on it whenever I'm there as many times as I can. It's still a great ride, but it's no original. I'll have to go with A tier. Living with the Land, D tier. My least. I think that might be the only D tier ride that I have. I just think it is the most boring attraction. It's just long, and the first part is kind of cool where you're in the rainforest and the buffalo and the house, but after that you're just looking at plants, and I have no interest in botany. But my family always makes me go on it at least once. I do it, but it is, in my opinion, the worst ride in Walt Disney World. Journey into Imagination with Figment, S tier. No doubt in my mind. I'm gonna get hate for this. And before you comment, yes, I know the original was better, except I never rode the original, so this is the only thing I have to base it off of. But I just think it's so funny. Figment is my absolute favorite character. I named my channel after him. Um, I mean, I love everything about it. It's funny. There's some great scenes. I mean, the song "One Little Spark" is one of the best Disney World songs in my opinion. It's my favorite, but I just love everything about it. And Dr. Nigel Channing, he's an absolute legend. Nobody can dispute that. Grand Fiesta Tour, I'll say B tier. I'll say B tier with that. It's a fun ride. It's a boat ride. There's some parts of it that I call it the Mexican Small World because it's the exact same like scenery with the people there, and it looks a lot like it. But a lot of it's screens, and I mean the ending, the last scene is really charming with all of the characters, in animatronic form singing Three Caballeros, but it's not high enough to put it into A. Frozen Ever After, I'll put it in the B tier. I won't put it in A. I was a fan of Maelstrom, and let me be honest, I'm not a big Frozen fan. So just hearing all the Frozen songs for me, it's not very a fun experience. As fun as someone who is a fan of the movies. But I mean, it's still a great ride. The animatronic of Elsa is amazing. I mean, there's still a little bit of a drop. You go backwards. There's a change of direction. It's a good ride, but it's still not enough to put it into A. Pirates of the Caribbean, for sure. S tier. S tier for sure. Um, what else can I say? It's a classic. It's a nice boat ride. I mean, the creepy entrance into the cave, then you have that drop, and you're into the town scene with the fights, and there's Captain Jack Sparrow, and the song "Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life" for me is a classic Disney song. There's nothing bad about it at all. Although I do wish they brought back the bride auction scene, but I do enjoy the new scene, but I just like the old one better. But I think that's definitely an S tier attraction. Reflections of China, C tier. And as much as I love Epcot, I just am not a big fan of the shows inside of each country. I just feel like it's a wasted potential. You can do so much with a Chinese attraction, and all you have is a show that not many people are interested in. From my personal experience, I don't think a lot of people go to the shows. They like to just look at the pavilion. I think it's just wasted potential for a pavilion. American Adventure. I I'm gonna put this in the mid B tier. I love that show. It's definitely better than Reflections of China and the other pavilion shows because it uses actual animatronics. Plus, the song at the end is absolutely amazing. I might be a little biased because I am from the States, so that could give me a little bias towards it. But I just believe it's definitely better than any of the other World Showcase shows. Impressions of France. Again, I'd have to put low C tier. Um, I mean, they are making a Ratatouille ride, so they are finally using France's potential. But again, it's just a film. It's a good film, but it's just not Disney material. Oh, Canada. Again, I have to put this. I'll put it above Impressions of France, just because you know I think the Canadian Pavilion's a little better. Um, but it's just wasted potential. Like all the stuff you can do with the Canadian Pavilion, and you just put one show. It's a little disappointing to me because there's so much potential there. Star Tours, I'll definitely put Star Tours in the A tier. The new Star Tours continues with the every time you ride, it's something different. I think that is just it's great. You never have the same ride, and I think it's a great simulator that Disney has made. In my opinion, better than Mission Space. Um, Plus, I am a big Star Wars fan, so that does help me, put it into the A tier. Indiana Jones. That is a great, great show. It's a stunt show, so it's not just your average musical. There's action, there's adventure, and there's even some parts of comedy. That's in Hollywood Studios. I think that is one of my favorite shows in all of Disney. Muppet Show 3D. I'll put it C tier. It's one of the last projects that Jim Henson ever worked on. So I have a lot of respect for Jim Henson. I am a Muppets fan, but I feel like it's not the Muppets at their best. I feel like it's a little cheesy and corny, and the CGI isn't that good. It hasn't aged that well, but it is a charming show. But I feel like that there can be more done for the Muppets than that. Toy Story Mania, A tier for sure. I'll put it above Space Ranger Spin. That ride, again, it gets competitive. I don't like to lose in that one, even though I typically do. Again, like I said, I'm a big Toy Story fan. I feel like the scenes are great. The theming is absolutely amazing. The new queue in Toy Story Land is out of this world, so I have to put it in the A tier. Slinky Dog Dash, I'll put that in the A tier. It's a lot of people said it doesn't look like it's a very good roller coaster. However, I really enjoyed it. It moves faster than it looks actually. Again, the theming is amazing. Everything in that Toy Story Land is very well themed. But at the end, you have Squeaky, I think that's his name, singing the song at the end. And plus, when I was on, you could see into Galaxy's Edge, and I was still in construction when I was there. So I just think it's definitely an A tier ride. Alien Swirling Saucers, I'll put it B tier. I think it's more fun than the Mad Tea Party because it's kind of unpredictable and you're swinging and you're sliding, and like I said, Toy Story Land theming is absolutely amazing. So I think it's a B tier ride. Enchanted Tiki Room, definitely B tier. That is an original Walt Disney classic. That show is amazing. The songs, the atmosphere, I absolutely love everything about it. Enchanted Tiki Room, B tier. Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Hmm. I'll put that in the C tier. It's a good musical, but again, if I'm there on a typical day at Hollywood Studios, I won't go out of my way to see Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Um, it's just not, for me, I guess it's not my demographic, but it's a quality show. Walt Disney Presents, again, I'll put it. I love history, especially Disney and Walt Disney, but it is just a walkthrough, so I'm gonna have to leave it at C. Tower of Terror. That is definitely gonna be an S tier ride. That is one of the best themed attractions in all of Disney. From the moment you step in, you feel it. It's eerie. It's creepy once you get inside the courtyard. Then when you're in the lobby, there's the spider webs. It's like a hotel was just suddenly abandoned like that. And the pre-show really sets the mood, and the ride itself. It's not just a drop ride. You go forward and backwards. It's unbelievable how they got that. Plus, I am I am a Twilight Zone fan, so that helps it too. But I'm a very big fan of the Tower of Terror, S tier for sure. Rock and Roller Coaster, I would say also S tier. And I might be biased because I am an Aerosmith fan, but that ride is just amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. It is so iconic with the pre show, and you get to go into what looks like an alley. And I am a thrill ride fan, so I mean, this is one of the best. It's not very long, but it definitely is a great thrill ride. It has to be an S tier in my opinion. Okay, Beauty and the Beast. Um, I'll say I'll say C tier. I'll put it up there. Hollywood Studios is a lot of shows instead of attractions. It's a good quality show, but again, I wouldn't go out of my way to to watch it if I was there. But it's a good show. It's definitely a good show. Disney. It's definitely a Disney quality show, but I wouldn't go out of my way. It's tough to be a bug. I'll put it C tier. It's again, this is it's tough to be a bug. It's a great show in Animal Kingdom. You're inside the Tree of Life, um, with obviously a Bug's Life characters, and they have a great musical number. Has it scares me every time with the Black Widow spiders and Hopper, and the ending is absolutely hilarious when the bugs walk under you. So that's a C tier. It's still a good attraction. Pandora, that is definitely an S tier attraction. One of the newest additions to the Disney parks. The theming to Pandora and Flight of Passage in this case is absolutely amazing. I would wait in that queue for you know hours just to look around, and I am an Avatar fan, so the whole land itself is just amazing to me. The way they themed it, and Flight of Passage I think it's the best simulator ride that Disney has ever built, and I'm very excited to see some other simulators. But at the moment, Flight of Passage is just amazing. Navi River Journey, definitely, definitely an A tier attraction. Some people don't like it because they say it's short. I don't mind it. It's 5 minutes long. It was originally supposed to be longer and with a drop, but the funding for Pandora, the World of Avatar they were way over budget, so they had to cut that, which is disappointing. So I wish there was more of it, but there is just so much immense detail in that ride that every time you ride, you will see something new. And the shaman at the end, which is, I believe, it's one of the most advanced audio animatronics in the world with the song. It's just an amazing ride, and that's a must ride when you're there. Kilimanjaro Safaris is definitely an A tier ride for me. It's 20 minutes long, and you get to see all the animals and the lions, the giraffes, the elephants, everything that you want. And my tip: go early in the morning when they feed them. You can get some amazing shots of the lions, but definitely an A tier attraction for me. Expedition Everest, I'm gonna put this in the S tier, and it is an absolutely amazing roller coaster. It's one of the fastest rides in Disney World. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's as thrilling as Rock and Roller Coaster, but Expedition Everest is still, the theming is amazing. With a lot of these rides, what makes them S tier, except for Figment, is the theming, the level of theming involved. In Expedition Everest, everything is like you're in Nepal, and the disco yeti at the end. That's iconic. I wish it still worked. I'm lucky I got to see it while it still worked. But again, the theming on that ride, and it's also a great thrill ride that has to be an S tier. Swiss Family Treehouse. I'll put that high S tier. That is a history in my family. It's kind of an inside joke with us, but we do like the movie, and it's a quality walkthrough ride in Adventureland. Uh, if you're waiting for a Pirates Fast Pass, you can just go walk through. There's typically no wait. Cali River Rapids. I hesitate to put it in the A tier. I'll put it in the B tier. It's just I'd say it's your average, water ride, with you're in a, what'd you call it? A big raft with other people, and it's funny because everyone in the raft is talking and joking and like who's gonna get it next, and it's a good water ride. It definitely depends on what day you're there. If it's a cooler day, I'd stay away because you can get absolutely soaked. If it's a warmer day, definitely want to get on this, but I'd say B tier. Up a Bird Show. Uh, I'd just because the way they train the animals, it's really amazing. I'd say C tier. It's just a bird show. It's cool, but they had to throw an up there. It used to just be like a regular bird show, but they changed it a little bit. I'd say C tier. Dinosaur. A lot of people probably won't like this, but I'm gonna put Dinosaur in the S tier. I like it more than Expedition Everest. That ride is just absolutely amazing. The pre-show, I don't know what it is, but that pre-show, I love that pre-show. Dr. Seeker, he's quite the guy. Um, but Dinosaur, it's definitely a unique ride. You're bouncing and you get going pretty quick on that ride. It's unique. The what more? It still scares me to this day. The Carnotaurus, but it's definitely an S tier for me. Primeval Whirl, C tier. I'd put it I'd put it below Turtle Talk with Crush. It's just I'd say it's your average carnival ride, and it gives you it gives me a headache because you spin so much. It's just not a lot of fun for me. Um, Triceratops Spin, I'll put that in the D tier, above Living with the Land. It's just a knockoff of Dumbo, but the way they do it, in my opinion, it's just so much cheaper. And Dinoland isn't the best themed land, but Triceratops Spin, in my opinion, is just embarrassing for Disney. So Big Thunder Mountain, I definitely would put that in the A tier. That is a great Frontierland classic attraction. It's got some good speed, but you have to sit in the back to really feel it. But in my opinion, that's a good A tier attraction. Country Bear Jamboree, I would say C tiers. That is kind of a cult following. There's some people who absolutely love it, but it just doesn't do it for me. I find it kind of creepy, to be honest. The bears kind of scare me, so I am not the biggest fan. of the Country Bear Jamboree. C tier for me. Splash Mountain, no doubt in my mind that that is definitely definitely an S tier attraction. It's a 10-minute long. I think it's over 10 minutes long. It's like a musical dark ride mixed with a thrill ride. I mean, that's Disney at its best right there. The music, Zippity Doo Dah, what an iconic song. Even the other songs in there, like Time to Be Moving Along, The Laughing Place. I mean, in my opinion, Disney's one of Disney's best they've ever created. Tom Sawyer Island. I'm gonna put that in the B tier. Um, Definitely B tier. It's fun to really. There's typically no line. You get to walk around the island. There's caves you can go in. You can air quote shoot at the Big Thunder attraction, but it's really good for little kids, and I just have a lot of memories. I have to put that in the B tier. Jungle Cruise. I won't put it. I won't put it in the A tier. I know a lot of people like it, but it's not my favorite. I mean, the jokes are so bad they're good in a way, and the animatronics. I know it's a classic ride, but it's just not. It doesn't really do it for me. It's not good enough to get into the A tier, in my opinion. Festival of the Lion King, definitely B tier. It is one of the best. It is a great show. It is a really good show. The music is amazing. There's acrobats. You get involved. It's an interactive show, and like I said, I love interactive stuff. So I definitely put Festival of the Lion King in the B tier. Finding Nemo the musical, I would say B tier, um, for sure. Again, it's a good musical. I think it's about 20 minutes long. Music is good, but like I said, it's a good show, but can't put it any higher than that. And Haunted Mansion, I have to put that in the high B, in the high B tier. Or excuse me, high A tier. That is an absolute classic, from the stretching room to the ghost host, the hitchhiking ghost, Madame Leota. Really, really good following. I wouldn't put it in the S tier, but I definitely would put it in the A tier. And let me just see if I want to make any changes here. I think I think my list is just where I want it to be, I'd say. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So S tier, Splash, Space, Pirates, Rock and Roller Coaster, Flight of Passage, Tower of Terror, Dinosaur, Everest, and Figment. And I know I'm gonna I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for Figment, but you have to understand he is my favorite. Um, and then all the way down we have A tier, B, C, and D. So thank you so much for watching to the end. If you stayed with me this long, make sure to comment and tell me why I was right or wrong about any of these rides. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.